how do you actually fight that? How do you actually overcome that barrier? Well, my best advice I'm going to give you, the best tip I can give you is how you doing, my bro? Welcome back to another one. So today I want to talk about a topic that's often ignored when it comes to making money and building wealth. All the gurus will talk to you about the lifestyle and the flashy stuff and the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris and the bank accounts and the girls and everything that comes with that. But they don't talk about the building stage of it. No one actually talks about that. And there is one thing that if you don't tackle it early enough and you don't actually acknowledge it and know that it's coming, you are going to give up. And if you give up, you are never going to become wealthy. So you need to know this now early enough so that when it does come, you can tackle it and overcome it really, really quickly. If you don't know who I am, my name is Guy. I'm currently on a mission to earn $120,000 per month, and I'm documenting my journey to that goal on this channel. So if you do want to level up financially as a man, you want to improve your finances, make sure you smash that like button for me, please, bro, and subscribe to join the Wealth Squad, the Millionaire Squad, and the Millionaire Family. That's who we are. So let's get straight into this. I would love to wear a t-shirt today, but there is a heat wave in the UK and we don't really get them a lot, and it's really hot. It's really, really hot in my flat, and I just don't want to wear a t-shirt. So what is that thing that I'm talking about? You can probably read it by the title. It's simply that when you're building a business and when you're trying to get rich and when you're building wealth like I am right now, when you're on your journey, what you'll find is that, bro, it's quite lonely and it's very boring. It's really boring and it's really, really lonely. Now, I don't particularly feel the loneliness because I'm quite an introvert anyway. Like, I like being at home and I like working on my computer. But I was just thinking, like, if someone else was in my situation, they would feel the loneliness quite a lot. And this is something that you have to be okay with. You have to be okay with being lonely for a prolonged period of time. Like, I can go days without speaking to anyone, just working on my computer. And I'm okay with that. But are you okay with that? Are you okay with going days without having any form of human contact or human interaction that's not potentially with a client? Because you have to understand, when you're building, you have to stay focused and you have to, work a bit harder. And not many people are going to understand what you're doing at first. And you might have cut off a lot of your friends because they're not on the same path as you. And you might have broken up with your girlfriend. See, that's not something you have to do, but you might have done that. And you might now be single and you're building your business, you're building your body, you're just trying to level up as a man generally, and you're just working all the time. And that's absolutely fine. That's what you should be doing. But you have to realize as well that a lot of these days you might not even have contact with anyone. You might not even interact with anyone, especially if your business is an online business where you don't have any clients like I do. So you have to be absolutely fine with just working all the time without really having any contact. And a lot of these gurus, they might show you that flashy lifestyle with all the cars, all the girls. But at first, when you're building and you haven't got all of that, it's very, very boring. It gets quite lonely. Not because you're lonely, I mean, you might be, but I'm not lonely. It's just I spend most of my time, about 96% of my time, alone in my house, just building. And you might live at home with your parents, you might live alone like I do, you might live with your girlfriend, you might live with friends. But what you'll find is that even if you do have those four things and those four components, you're most likely are going to spend most of your time alone because you're just building, you're just working, you're on your grind, and that's absolutely fine. What I'm trying to say is you have to be okay with that, and you have to anticipate that before it comes so that when it does come, you can overcome that very quickly. Gee, I can spend a whole day like on my computer all day building a website, for example, and website building is not the most fun thing ever. It's quite boring actually. And then I might have to record a video after that, and then the day's gone and I realize it's 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. and I have to go to bed, wake up at 8 o'clock, start again and do it on repeat. And 3 days have gone past, and the only person I've spoken to in the last 3 days is the shopkeeper when I went to get milk for breakfast. Now, bro, let me ask you a question. Are you okay with going multiple days without speaking to people? Because if you're not, you need to sort it out. You need to pattern up. You need to man up. You need to stop listening to your emotions and start thinking with your brain, with your mind. If you're not okay with being on your grind and being alone for that long of a time, what you will find is that you're going to start looking for other ways to fill that gap, to fill that void. You're going to start looking for comfort in other things. And that's when you start falling back. That's when you start watching the hub. That's when you start going on social media to look for that connection. That's when you start going on Tinder because you haven't seen a girl in so long. And that's when you start falling back into your old habits. So if you're too emotional and you're not manning up and you cannot be alone for that long, my bro, listen, you need to start being okay with being alone, being lonely in fact. That's fine, because you know that once you actually make it out of this grind, once you start making the millions that we're going to be making together, you're going to start, seeing people all the time. You're going to start traveling the world. You're going to start living in the way you want to live. You're going to start taking care of your family. But until then, you have to be okay with just working and being bored for most of the time. Because building businesses, unlike what people tell you, is very boring. It's very, very boring. It's not that fun. Another point is the actual building bit itself is fine. The actual building bit is very easy. The actual tactics, the website building, the getting traffic, the making sales, that's the easy bit. The hard bit is the self-doubt, the loneliness, the impulses to do other things that you're not supposed to do, the self-control, the discipline. That's the hardest bit of all. And the reason it's so hard is not because you have to do that for one day. It's because you have to do that for multiple days at a time, for such a long time, for like a year, 2, 3, 4, even 5 years sometimes, if that's how long it's going to take you to build your business. And you have to be okay with that. You have to overcome all of these barriers, including getting lonely, including being bored. Does that make sense, bro? Good. So, how do you actually fight that? How do you actually overcome that barrier? Well, my best advice I'm going to give you, the best tip I can give you is meditation. Because meditation helps you being okay with being by yourself, being okay with your own thoughts, being okay with just being bored. I personally meditate for 10 to 20 minutes per day. I use an app called Fit Mind. It's a really good app, but you can do it on YouTube if you haven't got any money to spare. It's like $11.99 a month. And I just meditate every single day, no matter what, for at least 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. And it's just made me so okay with being alone. It's made me so used to just being with my own mind, my own thoughts. And I'm just okay with just working on my business because that's what I'm supposed to do. So if that's, something that you are struggling with, you can't spend time alone, and you're always looking for other things to make you feel that comfort, that connected with someone else, like video games, Facebook, Instagram, then I would highly recommend you start meditating immediately, because that's going to help tremendously in helping you get comfortable with yourself. So that's it from today, boys. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you haven't enjoyed it, please leave a dislike, so I know which one you do like and which one you don't like. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace, bro.